On this Silverado 2500 with the 6.6 diesel, P0234 is an overboost code. In plain terms, the ECM may be seeing actual boost higher than the boost it is trying to control. The truck may feel inconsistent under load, may show reduced power type behavior, or it may only act up when the same load condition comes back. The broad fault areas can include the boost control leap, the turbocharger vane actuator and linkage, intake or charge air leaks, air restrictions, exhaust or EGR restriction or leakage, and possible fuel quality concerns. The diagnostic path is command versus response. Prove the actuator responds, prove map responds, then move into the mechanical checks in order. For P0234, do not treat the running conditions as the repair path. They are monitor gates. The code runs when ignition voltage is greater than 11 volts. The engine is running under heavy load between 1600 and 2200 RPM. Ambient air temperature is between -7 and +55 degrees Celsius. That's 19 to 131 degrees Fahrenheit. Engine coolant temperature is 70 to 130 degrees Celsius, 158 to 266 degrees Fahrenheit. Baro is 70 to 110 kPa. That's 10.15 to 15.95 psi. And airflow or throttle valve position is at least 85% when active, or at least 75% if not active. The code runs continuously once those gates are met. The setting logic is the important part. The ECM detects the difference between actual boost pressure and desired boost pressure in the intake manifold is greater than the desired range for 12.5 seconds. That 12.5 seconds is cumulative, not continuous, so separate heavy load events can add up. Start with the basic system checks and follow a structured diagnostic approach before jumping into the boost diagnosis. With ignition on, check for other active codes in the supporting engine control, sensor, actuator, vehicle speed, and air management areas. If those are present, check what they mean first. If they are not present, command the turbocharger vane position actuator from 20 to 90% with the scan tool and verify the turbocharger vane position parameter increases and decreases. If it does not, move into system testing. If it does respond, leave the engine idling and command engine speed to 2000 RPM with the scan tool. The map sensor parameter should increase. If map does not increase, move into system testing. If map does increase, reproduce the operating conditions for the code, or reproduce the captured conditions from when it failed, and verify the code does not reset. If it resets, go into system testing. If it does not reset, the check is okay at that point. In system testing, start with the things that can skew boost before condemning the turbocharger. Check for loose clamps, cracks, or damage in the air intake system. Check for air leaks between the turbocharger and the intake airflow valve, including the charge air cooler assembly. Look for restrictions in the air ducts or air filter, ice or debris in the induction system, PCV system leaks, aftermarket components, a damaged or restricted turbocharger vane control actuator, and incorrect fuel content or fuel contamination. If one of those conditions is found, repair or replace the affected component as necessary. If none are found, turn the ignition off for 2 minutes before moving to the actuator arm check. Now check the turbocharger actuator arm. A small amount of spring resistance is normal. The top rest position is vertical, and the bottom of travel is horizontal. Verify the arm can be pushed from the top rest position down easily, without binding, to the bottom of travel, and verify the return spring brings it back to the top rest position. If the arm binds, is difficult to push down, or does not return, disconnect the linkage from the turbocharger actuator, and repeat that arm movement check. If the actuator arm still binds, is difficult to push down, or does not return to the top, replace the M103 turbocharger vane position actuator. If the actuator arm moves easily and returns properly after the linkage is disconnected, inspect the turbocharger actuator linkage for seized or binding joints. If the linkage is binding or seized, repair or replace it as necessary. If the linkage moves freely, replace the turbocharger. On the path where the actuator arm can be pushed down easily and returns to the top rest position, verify the turbocharger vane actuator linkage joints are tight. If the linkage joints have excessive play, replace the turbocharger assembly. If the linkage joints are tight, Check that there are no excessive leaks in the induction system between the turbocharger and the intake manifold using the full system air leak test. If excessive leaks are found, repair or replace the leaking component. If no excessive leaks are found, check the exhaust system components, including the EGR system, for restriction or leakage. If the exhaust system is restricted or leaking, replace the affected component. If it is not restricted or leaking, replace the turbocharger. After the repair, verify the repair and confirm the code stays gone. Takeaway: prove the command and sensor response first, then work through air leaks, restrictions, actuator movement, linkage play, and exhaust restriction or leakage in order. For more diagnostic training, visit stepdiagnostics.com.